Well, a good finally Friday morning, Central Louisiana. So we are looking at some beautiful weather all across the board, all throughout the day today and over the next few days as well. So let's just go ahead, jump right in. This won't be too long. There's really not much to watch out for, at least here locally. Over the next few days, just some pretty pleasant fall weather. So looking outside right now with our Paragon Casino Resort camera over in Marksville in Avoyelles Parish, you can see that beautiful blue sky out there. Really not seeing much, if anything, in terms of cloud coverage across the board. Seeing some pretty similar conditions looking at with our England Air Park camera as well. Beautiful blue sky out there. Not much, if anything, in terms of cloud coverage. Just some clear conditions all across the board. Seeing that looking out with our DeRitter camera as well. Just want to take a quick glance throughout the region, just kind of see what we're seeing outside. Just pretty mild, very clear fall conditions. So looking at that horse track over there in Opelousas, seeing one little horse riding by, a few little horses down there. But just excellent conditions are all across the board here in Central Louisiana. Just one final camera. I want to look at that Toledo Bend camera, see that water just moving. Just give it just a second. There we go. Beautiful conditions out on the Toledo Bend. So we'll be seeing some great conditions to just go outside over the next few days. Maybe go out, do some fishing, do some hunting or some hiking, maybe on any of the trails across the region. We'll have some fantastic weather. So let me just go ahead and jump right in. So looking at our first alert satellite radar, so looking outside right now across our Gulf Coast states. Still seeing some active weather just ahead of that cold front that we saw earlier on this week on our Wednesday. Let me put this cold front symbol on here so you can kind of see where that front is, but it's just on the back end of those showers and thunderstorms. So that's going to be sending some pretty active weather for those eastern United States throughout the day today. But thankfully here in Cenla, we are now on the other side of that cold front, seeing that cooler and drier air returning to town. So looking outside across Cenla, no active weather, not really anything in terms of cloud coverage either. This morning definitely started off pretty dry out there, noticeably drier than the past few days. So just an excellent start to the end of our week. Temperatures right now as of 8:43 a.m. In those mid 60s to low 70s, about 64 to 71 degrees across the board. So it is feeling quite amazing all across Cenla. Earlier on this week, this was about what our early morning lows are, but this morning we got very pleasant. We actually touched some upper 50s. Over in Manny, we saw our coolest our coolest observed low, that is about 58 degrees. So the rest of us saw those low and mid 60s, so it was very nice all across the board, little below our seasonal average, which is now 64 degrees. So this afternoon we'll be keeping with the trend of those below average conditions. For the most part, we'll be at or below that average of 87 degrees, just reaching those mid 80s all across the board. So I've said it once, I will say it again. We are looking at some phenomenal weather for the next few days. And with that kind of lack of moisture in our air, we won't really need to keep an eye on those heat indices whatsoever. They're looking to be right around our actual air temperatures, maybe getting a couple degrees above that air temperature, but with our air temps only reaching those mid 80s, really not much to watch out for. So we have all that drier air now back in the southern United States, or kind of just the south central United States. Still have a good deal of moisture over there closer to Florida and into Georgia, South Carolina. That's of course ahead of that cold front that's just converging with that moisture that moved in from the Gulf. But now that we are on the other side of that cold front, we have all this dry air across our south central United States, and that is set to linger over the next few days as well, leading to a gorgeous weekend ahead of us. And it's looking like we could see that moisture start to try to climb back in going into the early days of next week, but still going to be feeling pretty nice out there, not going to be too muggy or anything like that. Those temperatures are set to remain in those mid 80s throughout our weekend. Afternoon highs about 86 to 87 degrees for your Saturday and Sunday respectively, and we will likely climb back up into the upper 80s and maybe some low 90s throughout next week, but still fully manageable temperatures for the early fall season here in Cenla. But of course that will just be a little bit above that seasonal average. Rain chances remain minimal thanks to that cold front that passed through on Wednesday, just leaving us with that drier air. We can't fully rule out a stray shower or two later on closer to this evening, but most of us will make it through this Friday dry, keeping those dry conditions around as we head into October next Wednesday. If you can already believe it, we are almost into the month of October. But throughout this Friday, we are looking at some phenomenal weather conditions from start to finish. Starting off this morning with those sunny skies out there, keeping our skies pretty sunny throughout our afternoon. Could see a little bit of those clouds return going into kind of the end of our afternoon into our evening, bringing back some partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Winds remaining pretty light, maybe getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour at times, primarily out of the northeast. So that's just continuing to filter in all that cooler and drier air from up north, keeping our skies mostly clear overnight tonight. Then we're looking at plentiful sunshine throughout most of your Saturday, but we could see a little bit of that cloud coverage return Saturday evening, but we still expect some pretty clear conditions throughout our weekend. Since we had that fall equinox earlier on this week, we are starting to see those sunsets getting slowly earlier and earlier. Sunset tonight is going to be about 7:01 p.m. of course, but then going into next week, we will see those sunsets before 7, looking at about 6:52 for October 3rd, 6:43 for October 10th, and then 1 month away, we're seeing our sunset about 30 minutes earlier than today at 6:28 p.m. So just going to see those sunsets getting gradually earlier and earlier as we head towards the winter season. But over the next 7 days, you can expect some pretty nice fall conditions. Of course, next week will be a little bit on the warmer side of things, but still fully tolerable for Louisiana. But over the weekend, try to go outside, enjoy that beautiful weather with a lot of sunshine in our skies. Afternoon highs just in the mid 80s, but look at those early morning lows. It's looking like we'll be seeing some more early morning lows in those upper 50s. Some of us will still be in the low 60s, but with that dry air, it's going to be feeling quite amazing outside. So I'm giving you my highly unofficial go outside warning for this weekend. Try to just take some time out of your day, especially in those early morning hours. Maybe go have your morning coffee out on your porch. But yeah, it's going to be amazing out there. Just try to enjoy it. We will warm up a little bit into next week, but nothing we can't handle here in Cenla. But like I said, it'll be some great conditions to go outside, maybe get some hunting, do some hunting or fishing if that is your thing. We're looking at that major time today from 3:09 a.m. Well, that has already passed, but that second major time today will be 3:33 p.m. to 5:33 p.m. with our minor times of 10:57 a.m. to 11:57 a.m. And then 9:03 p.m. to 10:03 p.m. with an average rating throughout the day, but with that weather, it'll be feeling quite nice out there regardless. But I hope y'all have a great Friday and an even better weekend ahead.